Hi Ashley, Matthew here from Built. I just wanted to record this video to go through your website and provide you with feedback. Now, I'll be proposing some actions that we can do on your behalf as your website customer. I'll also be giving you some recommendations on things that I think you can be doing to improve your website experience and performance. So without any further ado, I'm just going to go straight into it. So starting with the top. The first thing that stands out to me is the image, which looks like it's kind of getting cut off, so it doesn't take up the full width of the screen. Now, I think this might be an image that you uploaded yourself, and while I love the image itself, unfortunately, if it's not set to a certain width or height, it can get cut off like this. So what I would say is, could you please send me across this image, the original if possible, please? And then I will crop it on your behalf. I think it would be great to use this image just because it's not a generic stock image. It's clearly your van, your branding, and I think this really works well. It would just be much better if we're able to have it full width. I'm also going to be tidying up the text in the button here just so that, one, this button stands out a bit better because at the moment it kind of fades in and there's not enough attention being drawn to it, and then just making this text more visible on top of the image as well is something I'll be doing. Next, one thing I'd like to do is just make these phone numbers at the top here just stand out a bit more, so making them a bit bolder, a bit bigger, just so that they're easily accessible and customers can't miss them really. The next thing I wanted to ask you about was the live chat feature on your website. Now, I don't know how you find this at the moment, if this is something that you think works well for the business. What I would say is that in this day and age, when people use a live chat, they'll often expect an instant response, and people can be just very impatient when it comes to stuff like this. So if it's the case that you can reply to messages like this within a few minutes, then I'd say, great, leave it as is. And if it's working for you, then just crack on with it. However, if you're on the tools and you can't really get back to it within a few minutes and it's more like an hour or a couple hours or something like that, then I think it's probably good to consider removing this from the website. But that will depend on when you get back to customers through this. Do they reply back to you? How effective is it? Because what you don't want to have happen is someone to send you a message, get really impatient, and then go to one of your competitors. And if you're not able to provide a live service, then that's fine. But I just think that live chat might not be the best option. It depends on you, depends on the business. If you have someone looking after it, then perfect. Crack on and keep using it. Cool. So, by the way, I have some notes prepared on my other screen. I did have a look through your website before making this video, so if I'm looking to the right, it's to look at those notes. So, as I'm scrolling down, I think one thing you've done a really good job with is updating your website. A lot of trades and engineers find it hard to do, to just find the time to actually update the website. So it's great that you're putting in your own information, making it personal to you. It does mean that some of the formatting is, I think, just been copied and pasted from elsewhere. So, for example, there's like a little bit of a different background color on these. I'll go through and I'll tidy that up for you. That's absolutely fine. One thing I have noticed is that there's a couple of broken links. So, firstly on the Gas Safe website, just to let you know, the gas safety website is a little bit strange in that the link to your profile is a temporary one, and so the Gas Safe website, for whatever reason, will update this on a weekly basis, if not more frequently. So what happens is, if you find your profile, copy and paste a link, that link won't work past a week or two, which is really unfortunate. I don't know why they make it so difficult to link to a profile, but there we go. So I will go in and I will update this to just be the Gas Safe website. And then I might make a note to just say, hey, if you want to find us on the Gas Safe website, search by our number, Gas Safe registration number, which is this. So just let you know. And then I also noticed that the same thing with Checkatrade. Now, I don't know if you've had your name changed on Checkatrade or if you just stopped using it altogether. I'll try and find your profile, and if not, if you don't use it anymore, just let me know. Cool. Nice. And then, yeah, as I said, I'll be fixing some of these formatting issues. So scrolling down, next thing I'd like to update myself, if that's all right with you, is just these offers. So again, bit of a weird background color to these to this text, so I'll update that. And then what I'd also like to do is have these images on a transparent background, because at the moment they're on a white background, which is then on a gray background, and I think it'll just make it look a little bit more neat if we can have these just transparent, so they just kind of blend in seamlessly to the website. But I'm happy to do that for you. Scrolling down. One thing I do like about your branding is the orange. I think that really stands out well. However, I think the orange works really well in small doses. So for example, like a button, for example, or these icons, these buttons here, like these sort of smaller backgrounds here. But I think to have like whole sections as orange, I think I'd probably look to update this so it's either like a gray or like a blackish color, kind of to fit in with the branding of your van. But just because I think maybe a bit too much orange for this section, but I'll update that for you, no problem. Cool. Next thing I noticed is that there's no description under the gas cooker installations, so I will just write in a quick introduction for that. Just otherwise it kind of looks a bit bare. You don't need to write loads about it, just to introduce it, maybe mention that you can do a free quote, something like that. But I can do that for you, no problem. And then, actually, I'll probably use the same background image or background color that I used for the review section, use that for the gallery section. And then another thing I'd like to do is just tidy up this a bit more, just to make the images more uniform and neat. So that's something else that I'll be doing for you. Now, going back onto the next page, which says new boiler. I think first of all, what I'd like to do is just have more buttons directing to this page, because this is obviously a really good tool for people who are interested in a new boiler. I think what I will probably do is just remove this header here. Doesn't need to really be there. You don't need much of an introduction. It kind of speaks for itself. So I'll remove that, and then instead of having your logo here, because your logo is right there as well, having this be an image of a boiler or an image of like a family in a room with a boiler, just something a little bit different to your logo. I do love the logo, but I think you don't need to repeat it there. So it would be good just to have something eye-catching that is related to a boiler. So I'll do both of those changes for you. Going on to the about section, about page actually. I really like the fact that you've got just a bit of information about your team here. I think it's nice, personable. Not enough trades do it, so this is really great. One thing I would say is that the content for the homepage and the about page is the same, and so what I'll probably end up doing, if that's all right with you, is condensing the content that's on the homepage, just making it a little bit smaller, and then going into more detail, keeping it as is on the about page, just because I am conscious that it is a little, it requires a fair bit of scrolling to get through it all, and it's all repeated on the about page, so I will be updating that for you as well. Now, going on to services, again, I think I found some like formatting issues. So yeah, like this phone number, for example. So, and yeah, this smart thermostat thing here. So I'll go through that and update that for you, no problem. I wanted to mention the order of the services to you, because I don't know exactly what your priorities are. If it's like boiler installation, boiler servicing, gas cooker installation is second. I don't know if that is as much of a priority for you. I don't know if, for example, like central heating or bathrooms needs to be further up. If you do want me to change the order of this at all, just let me know what your priorities are, because ideally what you want to have is your biggest, most important services at the top and the less important ones further down. So if you want me to update that at all, just let me know. Cool. And then one thing I noticed kind of throughout the website is that we are currently targeting Liverpool and Merseyside. Now, that brings its own challenges just because of how big Liverpool is and how many engineers are in Liverpool and how competitive it is as an area. Now, I'm not saying we don't target Liverpool, but I think what might be good is if we do more consistently targeting other areas. So I see we've got Knowsley here. Wirral's going to be difficult because that's quite a broad area. But if you have any sort of specific parts of Liverpool or towns surrounding Liverpool that you would like us to focus on, please let me know. I would say preferably keep it to a list of 3 to 5. Now, I know you have a whole list of areas you cover on the homepage. We don't want to be having that on every single page on the website just because it comes across as a little bit spammy. Fine here on the homepage, but Google would, I think, object if it was just on every single page. So preferably let me know 3 to 5 of the most important areas for you, and what I can do is just add those keywords throughout the text on your website so that Google will be more likely to pick up those areas. Cool. So next thing I wanted to mention, not on the office page, the reviews page, is that, so you've had one review this year. I would just keep them coming. What you can do is just click on this link here. We'll click on the button, write a review, copy and paste the link, and then send that to your customers. And then that will allow them to leave you a review. Once you have approved it, will directly go on the website. I also noticed your Google business listing. Great that you've already collected 23 reviews. Just keep that coming as well, because both reviews on your website and reviews on your Google business listing will, one, make you helps you stand out from your competitors, and two, help you with ranking in Google. Has a big factor of that as well. Next, if you have any new images, please feel free to send those across. More than happy to update that for you. So just wanted to make a quick note on that. Blog, what I'll be doing is just tidying up the images a bit, just so that it's just a bit more uniform and neat on the page. And then what I would say is, if you're looking for ways to boost your website, often what I recommend is blog posts, so writing blog posts. However, one thing that's often overlooked is updating previous ones. So I think these were first written in 2019, so a few years now. And I'm sure that there's a combination of new information that you can add to these, as well as information that isn't there in the first place. So, for example, if we just click on tips for installing a new bathroom, just having a read through it, make sure that all of the information that you think customers will want is on there. So you know better than anyone else what the frequently asked questions are from your customers. Making sure that these pages have that information. So I would just go in, edit these existing blog posts if you're looking for ways to boost your website and get you, just boost your presence on Google. Nice. And then lastly, something that I'll be doing for you at the moment, this in the navigation menu just reads as more. Now I'm going to just be renaming that to brands, because that's effectively what's being displayed in the drop-down menu, is the different brands you install. So I'll be doing that for you. Okay, I hope this helps. I hope I haven't dragged it on too long. Thank you for bearing with me in this video. If you do have any questions about anything I've covered off, please let me know. I will be booking in some time to update your website based on the feedback I've given. I have asked a couple questions, so if you think those are important, please get back to me, and I'll factor that into my changes as well. And if there's anything else that I can help with or you'd like information on, please just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help. All right, thanks, and speak soon, Ashley. Bye-bye.